Good morning, Abhiva Ramanji, Clarissa, Sanjay Sethi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here. Let me tell you, my boss, Mrs. Veena Nandan, who is Secretary of Forest and the Environment, she rang up and said that are you not aware of GRIHA Summit? And you must be there because the kind of work they are doing is very relevant for the work that BIS is doing. So these two, I mean, of course, I'm aware of JD. And so you both must collaborate. And then I received the invitation from Vimal. So thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to be here and to be able to share some of the things that we are doing at BIS. In fact, I have got a written speech from my office full of jargon. And I got one speech from GRIHA's council also. That was simpler. They thought that the bureaucrat may not be aware of technical terms. So they made it very simple. I decided to read neither of them. And seeing the crowd here. I decided to take this opportunity to talk about some of the initiatives that we have taken to empower, to create sustainable and resilient communities. This particular requirement or need uh, became known to me when I was head of the Assam State Disaster Management Authority. There, NDMA had decided at that time that the state, which is confronted with all kinds of natural disasters, earthquake, floods, landslides. For every village, we should have a village disaster management plan, so that communities can be are able to cope with the immediate crisis. Governments will reach at a much later time, but the first responders have to come from the community. So the two takeaways of the engagement with the village community by doing that exercise where, one, we need to know our communities. We do not know. There is very little documentation of the traditional knowledge, how the communities for centuries have actually been coping with the natural disasters, how they have been maintaining the critical assets and dealing with the nature. And second, we need to make them aware of how to take care of themselves and how to cope with the challenges from various factors which are beyond their control. So, so these are very important takeaways, and basically these are the two things that we need to do when we talk of creating resilient communities or sustainable communities. Now, coming to BIS, one problem we faced was that we made standards, and we have made around more than 22,000 standards covering. I think you can't think of any area. You just look around the room, and you can't think of any product, or there is nothing for which Indian standard is not there. But where is the awareness about those standards? Where is the use of those standards? If we look at the standards which are in the certification, which are actually being used by industry or some stakeholder, the number is only 1,200. Out of 22,000 standards, only 1,200 standards are being used. So the challenge was to create awareness about the standards. And if this awareness is created, then naturally society or communities will be able to improve the quality of life and will be able to take care of many of the problems they face. So we have taken a few initiatives. I'm very happy to share with you. One is that you will be, I think nobody will be surprised. that in our premier academic institutions, IITs, NITs, IITs, the standards are not met. Students passing out of these institutions have actually no knowledge of the standards, except in civil engineering, where design standards have been taught for some time. So we decided to set up chairs in standardization in the premier academic institutions. I am happy that except IIT Delhi, where we are in the final stages of setting up the chair, all the IITs in the country, and also a few of the IITs, have chairs. We also decided to enter into MOU with another 70 what we call tier 2 engineering institutions. Not only engineering, other institutions imparting professional education in food technology, agriculture, textile, etc., chemical. So nearly 80 premier institutions now have MOU with BIS, and the purpose is to introduce education in standards, integrate standards in the curricula, so that the students passing out of these institutions are familiar with the standards, aware of the standards, and the important role they play. Second, I am very happy that GRIHA Council also is working in this direction. We thought that the young minds, the students in the schools, can be very important and potent ambassadors of quality if they become aware of the standards and how they contribute to improving the quality of products, processes, and lives around. So we decided to set up the standards clubs, and I'm very happy to share with you that by now we have set up more than 8,000 standards clubs. And these standard clubs are very vibrant units. So whenever we are talking of, whenever we want to talk about green technology or green building options, I think these standard clubs can be utilized, and we can very well collaborate in this area to spread the message of sustainability. In addition to the standard clubs, we also decided that at college level, at least 2 times in a year, we should have youth quality connect programs. So, on World Standards Day, or in the fortnight, in that particular fortnight, we covered around 500 colleges, both engineering and non-engineering colleges, across the country, where we had this youth to youth connect program, and lakhs of students participated in those programs. Again, the message was standards are important, quality is important, and of course, now sustainability has become a very important part of the standard formulation. Earlier, when we made standards, we did not pay much attention to sustainability aspects. We focused on safety, we focused on performance. But now, all the sectional committees, all the domain area experts who are in the business of making the standards, they have started paying attention to sustainability issues also, how the product is. And now, the kind of world we are going to live in is going to make it almost impossible for an economy to survive which doesn't pay attention to sustainability. You must have heard about the European Union deciding to impose carbon tax. And our steel industry is really affected because we emit a lot of carbon. The carbon footprint of our steel industry is huge. Whereas in developed world, I can give you the example of Sweden, where they claim that there is zero carbon emission while making a steel, because now this whole blast furnace technology has been replaced by electric furnaces and other modern technologies. So now the challenge for us in all those who care about sustainability or climate issues related to climate change, to make the standards which address climate change issues, like the recycling, reuse, and all those aspects. In BIS, what we did, that to take this awareness of quality and standards to the grassroots level. Because most of the programs, unfortunately, rather fortunately, not unfortunately, most of the important government programs are implemented by village panchayats, gram panchayats, which know very little about the technical aspects of the products and what is good, what is the bad quality and all that. So we prepared a list of the government schemes and programs which gram panchayats implement, mapped Indian standards against those schemes, and shared this booklet with 2.6 lakh gram panchayats. But we know half of them, or more than half of them, won't read that booklet. This is the reality. So we decided to organize training programs for them. And more than 20,000 gram panchayats have already been trained. We invite these pradhans and heads and secretaries. And and the focus why I am mentioning this particular thing in this at this fora is that, and the focus is on telling them why not to use the traditional construction materials and why we should go for the green options available. Like earthen bricks, don't use slag bricks or whatever bricks or other kinds of cements which are being made from waste products, those should be used. Focus is also on water use efficiency issues. The Indian standards which promote water use efficiency not only in agriculture, in drinking water, in washrooms, everywhere. Energy consumption is again another area that is extensively covered during these training programs, and we see how both by changing your behavior, how you use these electrical appliances, and also choosing the right kind of electrical appliances, you can contribute to energy consumption. And these training programs are at least creating an atmosphere, at least creating an awareness about quality and standards. So these are a few things, and I think we need to continue these efforts. One area which worries an organization like BIS is very low level of participation of civil society groups in our standard formulation process. They are very important, right? Particularly in this sustainability related areas. We Another area for worry is this: most of these big companies, all of them have their own sustainability programs because now nobody can ignore sustainability issues. But there is very poor connect between BIS and these large companies. So both these challenges we are trying to address. In fact, I wrote letters to the CEOs of 200 largest companies in the country, requesting them to nominate their senior officers who are heading their sustainability programs, and also so that we know about them, we know about their sustainability programs, we can create sectoral advisory groups, and that information can be factored into while making the standards by the sectional committee or our expert groups or working groups. So I'm happy to tell you that out of 200, 112 have already responded, and these 112 include almost any country, and they are ready to participate in this process. Civil society groups, again, we have started trying to connect with them, and here again, we would like to work very closely with you because you have already a lot of contacts and you have already made very important inroads into this area. So, what so I thought I would share some of these experiences. As far as standards are concerned, uh, I can. We have published a very important book. We have brought out a special publication. It is available on our website. You may like to have a look at it. It is basically mapping of Indian standards against government programs and missions. So other things may not attract you because whole more than 100 government programs and schemes are listed there. The 11 missions which are covered under the National Action Plan for Climate Change, we have mapped standards against each of these missions. And this exercise, we have already shared it with Niti Aayog, Ministry of Environment, and other ministries concerned. And from 28th of this month onwards, we are organizing meetings and interactions with their sensitization sales to discuss the findings. Two things come out. One, we don't have standards in many critical areas as far as these nations are concerned. Second, we have a large number of standards related to these information which are not being used by the concerned ministries and departments. So both these lessons are important, and I hope through the interaction with the ministry and also the organizations concerned, we will be able to address both these issues. And lastly, a request, please do download BIS here. It's whether you have an Apple phone or Android-based phone, you can download it. It's a real community empowerment tool. It tells you about any product which is certified by BIS carries a license number, CML number. You will see ISI mark and CML number. By typing the CML number on this app, you can verify whether that product is of certified quality or not, or whether this license itself is valid or not. This is for all the products, electronic products, other products, and also for jewelry, gold jewelry, which is come under mandatory or not. On every piece of gold jewelry, there is a HUID, unique number. Just by typing that HUID on the BIS app, you will be able to know the entire history of that gold jewelry. Carried, weight, where it was made, where it was assayed means whether it was checked for quality. And if you have any complaints regarding that product, that app also has a feature to lodge complaint online from anywhere. You can do that. So please download it and also spread awareness about it. So with these words, I will again express my sincere thanks to GRIHA Council for inviting me. And I have gone through the schedule and the sessions which are included for discussion during the 2 days are really very well thought of, very, very interesting, and wish this summit a great success. Thank you very much.